Welcome to Art of the Supplement, where we discuss all things roofing and construction industry related. I'm your host, John Dye. Today's guest is Armando Jacox. Armando is the owner of Foothills Roofing Exteriors in Denver, Colorado. This week's show is brought to you by Balance Claims. Contractors with balance make success look easy. Learn more at balanceclaims.com. Also sponsored by the Catalyst Group. The Catalyst Group is the essential partnership for high-growth contractors. Learn more at thecatalystgroup.co. Armando, man, thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I know we got to do some of this stuff in Colorado a few months ago now.
Yeah. No, it's my pleasure. I love talking to you. So
yeah, I mean, it was cool. We got to do that one podcast together, and it was actually my intro into podcasting with that. Like, you just like opened my world at that point. I was like, this is where it's at.
You saw a little more of the potential where it can go and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And I really believed in it after we talked, and I've been putting these out, and so I'm just super excited.
Okay, so the exact opposite's happening for me now, because I see the potential in video.
Yeah.
And like, I want video. And I've already been working on video. So I'm getting a YouTube channel going pretty soon here. And we're going to do the whole podcast on video. And I'm going to do just whatever I can get on the video channel.
Dude, video is going to be great for you. Like, it's going to, I feel like for a roofing company and for what you're trying to build, video is going to get your whole spew out like so much better than anything else.
Honestly, man, though, I got to tell you, I mean, I just love doing that kind of stuff. I always wanted to be in show business, okay? And I somehow wound up as a roofing contractor.
That's okay. In today's day and age, that's okay.
Yeah, well, because now I can see that it actually works for you quite a bit, to do video and podcasting and
absolutely
media. Dude. Like, it kind of, Gary Vaynerchuk says that every business should be a media business.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
It's a reality, and you'll win because of that. So that's awesome, dude. So you started your company.
Yep.
How's it going? What's the journey looking like
we're
now?
We're winning.
Okay.
Although, I'm reading a book right now called The Infinite Game. Have you heard of it?
Okay, I have
Simon
not.
Sinek.
Okay.
I'm working with a business coach, a guy named Gary Elt. Nobody knows him. He's kind of like my secret weapon.
Well, not anymore, dude.
Not anymore, so that's okay. And because I just want him to fulfill he has what's called a just cause.
Okay.
So in that book, there's this premise called, or this his kind of like philosophy is like every business should have a just cause.
Okay.
And so the just cause is like a cause that the business is kind of moving towards. That's sort of like a just thing, something good that we can kind of all get behind. Anybody could get behind.
Right.
It. And so like, we have a mission statement and we have core values at the roofing company. And it's extremely, extremely important. But we don't necessarily have like a just cause that we're all really kind of like going for. And I think
is that on purpose?
No, it's on accident. We don't have a just cause. I'm reading the book now.
Do you want it to? Do you want to have a just cause for your business?
I'm in the book. I don't know the answer to your question, but I think yes. I'm still kind of processing this book. It's called The Infinite Game, and so it's.
Give us an example what your just cause would be.
Well, I'll give you a sort of the thing is the just cause works in conjunction with a larger way of looking at business, which is that a business is either going to be infinite or finite.
Right.
All business is that way. It's either infinite or finite. So most businesses now, the way we think, they're mostly finite, which is like, hey, we got quarterly goals, finite. We've got a yearly goal, finite. Here's your sales quotas. Those are finite goals. We have, the stock market is completely set up on is a whole finite system pretty much on like quarterly, yearly. So what Simon Sinek writes about is creating an infinite game where the business is designed to self-perpetuate. And in order to self-perpetuate, it has to follow a cause, a just cause. It can't follow something. It can't follow like, well, our business is to, like for us, it's like get the best possible roof. Right. That's kind of like our mission, to get people the best possible roof. But like, that's not necessarily really a just cause. It's kind of like, it's a good cause. I mean, get someone the best possible roof because we want, we get them impact resistant, class 4,
absolutely.
malarkey roof system, the whole 9 yards, But like a just cause, I think for us would be a little bit more like, I don't know, like make the world a better place through roofing, something like that, that we can all kind of get behind. So anyways, I'm reading that book right now, and it's really kind of got my mind focused around like, infinite like possibilities as far as like how your business goes, and getting away from just like, yearly, quarterly end goals. That's kind of what I've been thinking about a lot lately.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So how is it affecting your business right now today?
Um,
Are you going to make any actionable moves, you think, because of this?
The way it's affecting us now, I have to say, is I've always been big about like the people that we work with, making a good environment for them,
Okay.
like a good, happy environment. And this book talks a lot about that, about creating trusting teams where the teams trust each other and they trust you. And like I think we do trust each other, but there's different levels of how far people can go into trusting somebody, And like I think my team trusts me, but and I trust my team, but like we could get way deeper into trust, I think, trusting each other.
Right.
Like, there's always this time where somebody's like, well, so and so supposed to go get some material. Like, I don't know if he's gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it myself.
Right.
He didn't trust that other guy. How do we stop that? So I've been thinking quite a bit about it, and doing some things to kind of like do that, and like telling guys, hey, look, let him make a mistake. Trust that he's going to do it. And
trust is huge.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because I know, like, I've been working with. I had like at least one or two contractors here at RoofCon talk to me today about how they want to scale, but they lack that trust.
Yeah.
In other people to be able to actually turn around and scale their business right now.
Yeah.
And like that's huge though, because in all reality, business is all about trust. If your business isn't based on trust, and what your people don't trust each other and trust their systems and trust everything else, the process, they're not going to be able to succeed within that organization.
100%, 100%. The only thing is like, it's very tricky though, John, because like I think it's important as on a managerial like perspective to like, you got to trust people to do the task. The only thing is like, what if so this is the strategy that I use that I've learned pretty much watching YouTube and practicing it in my real life, which is that if the task is going to cost, if an error on that task is going to cost the company a great deal of money or a great deal of heartache, or it's going to, be something we can't recover from super easily or very quickly, or, very quickly, then we don't necessarily want that person to do the task. We better provide some micromanagement to that person. If the task is something where we can say, hey, look, he messes this up, we can live with this problem, let him go for it. Let him learn. Let him figure it out.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
If he messes it up, make him fix it. He'll keep fixing it. And it's not going to be a big, as a matter of fact, we could look at it as like a way that we can, in a way almost like pay to learn,
Right.
So,
well, you paid, education comes from different ways.
As
no matter
an owner,
what you do.
they have to kind of know what tasks they can delegate and what tasks they can't.
Right.
Because you start delegating stuff that you shouldn't be delegating, you're effed.
Yeah, but unless, and here's the thing, like most roofing companies, most roofing contractors don't have a really solid training system in place to really honestly train their employees properly, or train their salespeople properly, or train anyone that works within their organization properly.
Yeah.
So they feel like they don't invest in the training, you're still going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it through employee mistakes.
100%, bro.
You're going to pay for it through you having to do a bunch of extra stuff that you don't want to do, through your own personal time, which is worth a lot more. When in reality, all you got to do is build a training platform.
I'm all about training.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually believe that the business should be a training and development company.
Absolutely.
I've adopted that idea from Randy Brothers. He kind of like, I'm in their roofing academy.
Okay.
And I've learned quite a bit from them. Big thing for him. He scaled his business from like 6 million to 15 million, like 3 years, something crazy like that. And a lot of it's because they look at their business as a training and development business. Right. So, I also look at the business that way, as we're a training development business, we're a media business, and, we're in the trust business, and like roofing is just, something we do, but really we're in the trust business and all, those kinds of things. So I think you're absolutely right, man. I think, However, even though I belong to these training things and I use them and I believe it, I still believe in training guys from scratch myself.
Absolutely.
All right. So like, I love doing that personally.
Well, and everyone learns differently too.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. training is so subjective.
Yeah.
Some people are going to learn via seminars. Other people learn via schooling. Other people learn via hard knocks.
The best way to learn,
so
in my
different.
opinion, is live one-on-one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's no way. There's
some people are just purely YouTube learners, and they'll just learn it.
Well, you know what though? Yeah, but that's not the best way to learn.
It's not. But
I mean,
but
I
maybe
could
it's not
take
the
a bunch
best
of
way for
classes
you.
on.
But for someone else, it might be the best way.
I disagree. I think humans learn
absolutely.
But
one-on-one, when you're learning something, like for example, I recently decided to get an SSD drive in my computer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had to literally take apart an iMac, which if you know anything about the newer iMacs, the screens are sealed onto the frame. Okay. So like I had to like literally unglue the whole thing.
Wow.
And then take it up. It used to be they would just like, there were magnets that held them in the older ones. The newer ones though, it's like glued on. So I had to take it all apart, put it back together. I basically was working with my hands and doing the actual activity while someone guided me through it on YouTube. And that's how I learned how to do that. Now I'm getting ready to do my wife's next because we have two older iMacs that I want to make them into SSD computers. I want them to be a little faster. So anyways, cool. But that's how I learned how to do that particular task.
That's very interesting. Yeah, because you're right. You could, self-taught could be better than...
Well, I mean, for stuff like that, easy, simple things, that's one thing. But I think some of the stuff that we're talking about too is probably more complex than that.
Well, the thing is, there's certain things you can't learn because nobody's done it before.
True.
And then now we're getting into talking about like, operating from like first principles, and like really thinking like nobody's done this ever before. Like, what do we do here? And how do we figure it out?
That's trial and error. You just got to go. You have to, you got to pick a lane and go for it. See what happens at that point.
It is, man. It's a lot. It's pretty tricky. I think it's very trial and error. I mean, I've like, for example, the founders of Airbnb.
Yeah.
They didn't really think about Airbnb. That wasn't originally what they were doing. Originally, it's called Airbnb because you would sleep on an airbed in somebody's house, and then they would feed you breakfast. So it's an airbed, and you get breakfast.
I didn't know this. That was funny.
Yeah, and that was the original concept. So
that's cool.
They actually almost quit because after like 6 months, they're like, "This is just dumb. Like this isn't working." And so they almost quit after 6 months, and didn't realize they had Airbnb on their hands. So it wasn't until later on when they started working more with other like people who were helping them out that they started seeing like, wow, they could actually, this is way more than what they originally thought. So like when you operate from first principles trying to learn, I mean, it's tough. You do have to do that trial and error. I think you're right. But right at this point, such in a day and age where so much is on the internet.
Yeah, dude.
That
absolutely.
It's kind of hard to find anything that like nobody's done before. You know what I mean?
Therein lies the opportunity. Okay. Yeah. And so you're a brand new business owner.
Yeah.
You're a brand new roofing company owner. You've been in this industry now for
since 2011.
2011. So that's what, 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been in this for a while. You just started your company. Let's talk about this right. And the reason I appreciate doing these interviews with you, especially and having these conversations, because you are so in tune with technology and you appreciate it for what it is. I mean, look.
I don't go anywhere without this sucker right here. Okay?
You got that. I appreciate that.
You
got
the
a
latest
podcast.
phone when they come out.
You're talking about video. We're talking about media stuff. We understand. I think we're very aligned in our thinking as far as business goes. So one of the things that,
by the way, though, the reason I am that way is not really because I've always been into technology, but coming to these things like RoofCon and coming to like Win the Storm and all the other events that are out there, there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Absolutely.
And like for roofers and
for sure.
It's quite a challenge because you have to say some sacrifice, be away from family and stuff like that. But, I've learned so much about, the technology and how to become a better roofer by going to those events that at this point, I'd pretty much jump on it every single time.
Well, let's talk about some high level, like industry talks for a second, because let's just be very transparent that our industry is kind of antiquated. Okay.
I don't know. I understand. I see where you're coming from.
Compared to other industries.
In comparison,
and we'll use the Airbnb for a second.
Yeah.
Airbnb is destroying the hotel industry. And I mean, there's still going to be space for it, or Uber, for example, which is like going to war against the taxi industry, yet owns very few taxis. Airbnb owns 0 hotel rooms, 0 houses, but yet they're like going after this population.
Yeah.
Where's technology going to fit in in the roofing industry in the next 5 years?
My feeling is that you're right. It is antiquated. I just don't really have any data to like support it that well. I've seen some studies out there that show, I don't know, 20% of like roofing contractors use a CRM, for example. There's been those kind of things. But those are just like, I don't know if I trust them that much. Like I have a degree in philosophy, and in philosophy, like they basically say like poke holes in everything.
Okay.
So like, don't generalize, it's, I have trouble trusting that completely because I see my out in the field. There's there's contractors who are very savvy with technology, and there's contractors who are really stepping their game up and using aerial photography to create
absolutely.
their estimates.
Absolutely.
And there's apps
that's starting to happen though.
It's starting to happen. Yeah, I don't think it's the majority at all. Yeah,
it's starting to more and more become more normal for that to be the case.
So this is my feeling, John, about the industry being antiquated. Is that, and my feeling is that the Pareto principle, which is that 80% of the production in an industry is made by 20% of the producers. So like, on a sales team where you've got like, 10 sales guys, 20%, two of those guys are going to produce 80% of the revenue for the company because they're like the cream of the crop. Like that's sort of like called the Pareto principle. So my feeling is that in this industry, there's 20% of contractors who produce 80% of the production. And my feeling is that those contractors are up on their technology.
Absolutely.
So like maybe out of all the contractors, only 20% are, not using CRMs, but I would put my money that the 20% that are producing all the 80% of the production are actually, I'd say probably around 100%
well,
using
in order
CRMs.
to produce any type of scale, you have to use technology and use tools in order to scale to that type of level.
So that's kind of my beef with the industry being antiquated,
I think what I mean by that, and what I mean by antiquated...
What's your opinion of my perspective of that, though?
No, I agree with your perspective.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think I totally agree with it, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like
the Crests of the world.
Absolutely.
The guys who are doing big numbers of the world, like
every single Apple, all the top
the roofing contractors
companies.
of the world, they're really in tune with their technology.
They are for sure. I mean, I know we were just talking about this a little bit ago, but I was just recently in Lincoln, Nebraska this last week, and I walked through the Apple headquarters, which everyone in Nebraska calls it the Taj Mahal of the roofing industry. Like it's like
that. Oh, Apple Roofing.
Apple Roofing.
Oh,
not
gotcha.
Apple. I'm sorry.
Okay,
not like Apple, like iPhones. Like like Apple Roofing in Lincoln, Nebraska. I go through their offices. I mean, they've got conference rooms. They've got their technology space is ridiculously insane.
Interesting.
There's screens all over the place telling them numbers and what's going on in their business.
Wow.
They are in tune with everything down to the penny.
Wow.
And that's their business is running like a well-oiled machine. The other thing that's really fascinating about them too is they do a lot of retail.
Okay.
And retail is really, they because of their technology and stuff, they're able to do stuff. And there's some other things that's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But as far as like by antiquated, what I mean is in proportion to the amount of tasks that we do in business, the amount of human capital versus technology is not as in other industries, technology handles a lot more tasks than our industry does.
Yeah.
That's what I mean by antiquated.
I think you're right. I think we rely on humans probably more so than we should.
Right, because technology hasn't crept into our industry quite as heavily as it has other industries.
Again, I think our industry's fragmented, though.
It is fragmented.
It's extremely fragmented,
There's
so like
everyone's mom and pops.
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot of mom and pop.
The first IPO is like in the works as we speak. So I don't know if someone's listening to this 2 or 3 years from now, they're going to say, "Oh yeah, we remember this day."
An IPO for a roofing contractor.
There's a roll up happening as we speak.
Oh, okay.
So they're rolling
up.
Are
you in an NDA for that?
I actually.
You have an NDA?
But I will say that there's it's out there.
Who is it?
It's I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Are you in on the deal?
I maybe.
Okay.
So at least I'm
Let's
connected.
talk after the podcast.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Just kidding.
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this as much as I'm going to say that there's 13 roofing companies in the industry. I mean, they have a website. I guess
I know what you're talking about.
They're combining.
That's a total public thing. The guy just posted that he got bought out or whatever.
It's Restoration Builders Inc. I think.
Right. Yeah. He just posted online that he got bought by this company.
Okay, so they're rolling up 13 of the large roofing companies
Okay.
into one roofing company. Okay.
Gotcha.
Now that's
I was
their
really
goal.
confused. He's here. I want to talk to him. Like, hey, you sold
Absolutely.
your company? Like, what is that?
There's some other people here
Like,
that are doing that too. I can
really
connect you to.
interesting.
But at the end of the day, though, what's going on is this is the first step, because once you, I mean, think of the size of the largest roofing company in the United States right now. Okay.
They're commercial for one.
Well,
so that's a whole fragment.
Exactly. But I'm just saying on the residential side. Okay, that handles with insurance
residential,
claims.
you can't even get more than 100 million.
There's a company in Columbus, Ohio. They're 160.
160 million.
Okay, yeah.
Really?
It's the new numbers just came out. It's Mr. Roof and Able Roofing is the name of the
Mr.
company.
Roof, yeah.
Okay, they're out of Columbus.
Gotcha. They're retail too.
They're a lot, mostly retail.
Yeah.
And
well, retail. I mean, so like I'm an insurance restoration roofer guy, you know. So like I understand insurance, roofing, insurance contracting really well, but like that's a whole fragment in and of itself, which is actually
let's talk
small.
about insurance for just a minute though.
It's a small part of the roofing industry as a whole, you know.
It is. It really is, because while there's a lot of roofs being replaced because of insurance claims, I think the retail side is actually larger.
Yeah.
And the retail side allows
Way
you to
larger,
get into
really.
upgrades and other things as
California,
well.
the whole state of California, the whole state, you know, the whole East Coast.
Well, right now we're in the middle of a housing boom as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of houses being built, a lot of new construction going on. So there's a lot of that happening too. But at the end of the day, though, when you look at it, our industry, our largest player is $160 million.
Okay.
Or let's just say that's the number. Okay.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's huge, but it's not huge.
Oh, because we're in like a $25 billion industry type thing.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, gotcha.
I mean, and especially when you're playing in the insurance sandbox, I mean, most companies are in the $300 to $400 billion range when it comes to their assets. Their profits, there's insurance companies that are making $7 billion a year.
Insurance companies are in that range? Okay.
I mean, there's CEOs making $25 million a year, which is what, in our minds, $25 million in revenue is a pretty big company in the roofing industry.
Definitely.
So in all reality, we're pretty small still.
Okay.
And there hasn't been the consolidation of resources yet to hit our industry like it's about. Like, it's going to happen in the next few years. And I know there's another IPO as well that I heard about, something about a garbage company. That's all I know.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. You know, it's hard. It's no one has a crystal ball, but I mean, I still because there's certain things though. This is a human. You need humans.
You
in
absolutely
this
need humans
in
for
roofing
sure.
contract and construction.
Absolutely,
you need humans.
Absolutely,
like a robot being able to go and like install a roof is. I don't think we're pretty far away from that. You know. However, we do have robots that we can pull along to seal up roofs, which happens in commercial roofing quite a bit. You need a human to operate it.
Yeah.
And we have robots that can.
I know what you're talking about.
It's
the welders.
Yeah, the welder. Yeah, it's just a welder. You know,
Yeah.
it's not. And so we also have roof tear off machines. You know,
Correct.
that we've been. I'm looking at getting one actually.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty soon.
How do you like
here.
your equipter, by the way?
You know, we have equipters.
Yeah.
It's I love the equipter. You know,
Okay.
and we're using it quite a bit. That's a pretty huge piece of technology.
Absolutely.
That is definitely saving quite a bit of labor.
Do you find that it's more of a marketing piece, or is it really saving you a lot of labor and as far as making your guys more efficient?
It's a marketing piece easily.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 100% more of a marketing piece. It's actually a bit of a hassle because
well, you can only hold like 10 squares in there,
Equipter won't
correct?
tell you. You need an operator,
Right.
okay? You need insurance, obviously, and you need a truck to pull it. Okay, they tried telling you that that you could pull it in. I guess you could put it in a small lightweight vehicle, but
I mean,
if you got anything in there,
I've pulled them with I've pulled a full one with my 1500 Silverado.
I did too. Yeah, I have a 1500 Silverado too, so I pulled it with mine. But I was
that's
definitely
about
feeling that. Weren't you feeling that?
Absolutely.
You're feeling the push.
That's about the smallest you can go with that thing. And
yeah, so we have a 2500 Silverado for it.
Yeah.
So it works pretty well. But if it's a diesel, so it actually pulls it really well. But all I'm trying to say is that with the Equipter, it is technology and it is a great piece of technology. It actually is helping us. But definitely, to answer your question, it's more of a marketing thing. Yeah. So part of me feels like I should have probably dropped 40 grand on some
Facebook
billboards
ads
or something. Yeah, Facebook ads. But the thing is though, I say that my crew, my superintendent would probably disagree with me. And
he likes it.
He would probably say, Yeah, we need that thing, dude. Are you kidding me? Like, because it lifts materials onto the roof very easily.
Absolutely.
And in Colorado, sometimes it's tough to get the supplier out to roof load real quickly, you know? So, and there's some areas, a lot of areas in Colorado and Denver that there's no driveway. You can't put the material, onto the rooftop. So we put it in the Quipter first, drive it around and
then
use
pull
it.
it up.
But, but like the thing is that's what's kind of nice about construction is you will need humans and all trades really.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you that there's still going to always be that human element, at least in the foreseeable future.
Well, let's talk industry wide on the insurance side of it. Not so much with the humans. Okay.
The insurance side of it,
not so much, which is very interesting.
Moving
it's very interesting.
Very quickly. And it's going to become it's going to become a lot more transparent, I believe, in the future. Okay. I believe right now the insurance world is so it's designed to, at this point, to delay, keep money is moving a little bit slower. Mm-hmm. It's just the nature of the beast. Mm-hmm. But as technology evolves on that side of things, within just the insurance restoration piece, there's going to be some tools that are coming down the path that are going to change so much of that.
Well, I totally agree. I mean, there's one tool, like the drone is big, and so like
drones are huge. Hover.
Most recently though, I like Hover, definitely. I use Hover. I know there's we could talk about Hover, but like just to kind of this one piece, a job we did recently where the adjuster was like, we got there like 15 minutes later, the guy was done. Yeah. And we're like, well, didn't you get on the roof? Like, no, they already took they did a scan of the roof remotely back at corporate. We already see the hail damage. Roof's already we already have the estimate actually already worked up.
So they already bought it.
They just wanted me to come by and look at the outside around the house.
So the adjuster essentially became an inspector.
He basically said, I don't even know why I even came to do this because you guys probably could have just taken some pictures.
So what does that tell you about that side of the industry? It's going to be more and more and more of that.
What it tells me is adjusters could have some issues down the road.
I think so. I think the adjusters are vulnerable. I think there'll still be a place for CAD adjusters, but even them, I think there's a vulnerability there.
I think there's a big vulnerability with adjusters.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's because
we're seeing it already with the ladder now, as a ladder assist, all the other tools that are out there. I mean, it changes the whole name of the game. If you have someone out there that's a inspector rather than an adjuster, because an inspector can say anything they want to say and they're not being held to the same standard as an adjuster. So what do you do at that point?
Well, you can send an inspector to document some of that external damage pretty easily, I mean, it doesn't take rock.
You could do that as a contractor.
I mean, that would be a waste of, my freaking 19-year-old project manager who I hired 6 months ago can do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
A 19-year-old guy with probably 2 weeks experience can do it, right?
Right.
Be honest with you, a high school student can do it.
Absolutely.
During the summer for summer work if they wanted to.
Yep.
So like we could probably train them in like 2 weeks.
It's pretty crazy to think about.
So, I mean, doing an on-site inspection around the property without getting on the roof is kind of, you don't need to be a college graduate for that.
So obviously you're very forward thinking. You see these things coming down the line. You're starting up just business.
Dude, here's the thing. You want to get a little deep, man.
I do want to get a little deep because I think you're in a unique spot, Armando.
Yeah.
You're not dug into this entrenched like philosophy with your business yet because your business is so young. Mm-hmm. See, most companies, if they've been around for 5, 6, 7 years, they're so entrenched and they believe what they believe and they've set their vision out. And now that things are changing, most people, rather than change their course, are going to stick to the plan. What's worked for them and gotten them this far, they're expecting to take them the rest of the way. You, on the other hand, are just getting started.
Yeah.
So you're looking to this is more of a you're not 100% married to your current game plan, and you're going to be more. And also, I mean, you're thinking differently than most roofers think. I know already, and so you're gonna be more apt to change your course.
Well, the reason
and adjust.
I think just so like guys kind of know is that like the only thing I think different is that I think in terms of drone technology, I think in terms of being paperless and using iPads, I think in terms of doing everything needs to be communicated in the CRM. No more email, no more text. A little bit of email and text. I'm being a little
man. I hated
here.
I hated when crews would send me photos and text.
Yeah.
I wish like 5 years ago we had company cam because it would have made my life so much easier.
Love company cam. Yeah. Gotta
Company
live
Cam's
by
an
company
amazing
cam.
tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, contractors are kind of going that direction. But the thing is also, that's why I have my little beef about being antiquated, because my perspective from where I'm sitting is that there's actually quite a bit of change going
you're
on.
you're the exception.
Yeah.
And that's why when I say that, I mean that because
Okay.
I think that for
Well,
the
it's music to my ears. I want to be different,
majority of the industry,
Yeah.
the guys are kind of set in their way. It's this way. This is the way we've done it. This is the way we've always done it.
Yeah.
And very resistant to change.
Yeah.
Whereas you are not that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you're basically molding yourself into this new next the next era of roofing. So
Yeah.
what are you doing as far as marketing goes, as far as branding? Like, what's your plan on that?
I definitely believe in all technology, but man, there's a lot of like huge value in old school relationship building.
Right.
Just word of mouth, man. Like doing it, like over delivering. Because you over deliver, you do high end customer service, people talk about you. So when it comes to marketing and sales, man, I'm big into like old school.
Are you pushing like reviews and
follow
stuff?
up? Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Big on reviews. I mean, we've only been in business, I want to say 6 months, and we already have, I think, 15 reviews, Google reviews. We pretty much ask everybody. We send it to everybody. I'm also like, look, big believer in Google reviews, big believer in Facebook. I'm a big believer in digital marketing, like all about it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got a podcast.
No issue there. I love it. I'm all about it. I got to learn it. I got to keep getting better at it. No issues there. However, this business is really big in personal relationship building.
Okay.
Huge into that. In my opinion, I could ditch all the digital marketing and be massively successful by having personal relationships with people who know that they can trust us and we'll do a real good job for them. Word of mouth.
Word of mouth, grassroots marketing.
Absolutely, man. Word of mouth, just grassroots. I mean, I still am real big believer in that, and because that's what's
bringing your success.
That's what's bringing our success. Yeah, dude, big time. I was telling you, this business coach I'm working with.
Well, you're in Denver too. You're in a very competitive market.
Oh yeah, hugely.
I mean, for you to compete in the Facebook, Google, AdWords, anything paid marketing, you're going to spend some cash.
So as far as competitive markets go, I don't even think we work really hard mentally, internally as a company, our guys, and I'm always telling guys like, hey, like I'm gonna get angry if we start talking about our competitors.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care about our competitors. Let them do what they're gonna do, and I care about our customer. Like, how can we get better at that relationship we have with our customer and our referral partners?
Right.
Like, I'm very like obsessed with like, how can we become the best contractor for our customer? And, competitors will always be there, not going to go away. But like, if we can't keep getting, customers are extremely difficult, as you know, especially with contracting. Absolutely. Working on your house, they can be extremely difficult sometimes. And we tell them, hey, Mr. Ms. Customer, like, you're not picky. We love it. Bring it on. Help us get better.
Yeah.
Because the more difficult the customer is, the better we're going to get. So we like thrive on that kind of stuff. And then people feel that, they sense that, and they send us their referral.
Good.
So we live off of referrals, and word of mouth, and and so like, it's hard though to live up to that expectation with the customer, high expectation with the customer, because as a business we have to pretty much hire more people.
Absolutely.
So we have to hire project managers who can, be there most of the job, and bilingual project managers, like not just a project manager, bilingual project manager, English and Spanish, because a lot of times the workers don't speak English.
Yeah.
So, I'm really big. I'm shocked when I see like a company picture of like some people, of a company, roofing company, and there's like not one, like, I mean, I guess you don't have to be Hispanic to speak Spanish, but like, I can guarantee none of those people speak Spanish. At least doesn't look like it. I'm probably being stereotypical, but like,
no, dude,
I think it's
the reality.
I think, dude, I don't even know how guys do it, honestly, man. Like, how does the contractor have it's bilingual dude on staff and like communicate correctly, And I can see why we have so many problems in this business because communication breakdowns. It's that simple.
Right.
Dude,
I love it, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Like, I'm really happy for you. I know we've kind of built this relationship, and I got to see, watch as you've grown this business from literally nothing to
built it from scratch.
Yeah, like you
I
guys
intentionally built this from scratch.
Yeah.
Man. I want people to know
you
that.
threw out the whole
I want
playbook.
people to know that. Okay, I had a really good job being a sales manager, making a lot of money, and I quit it. Built this business from scratch. I got my freaking design going, my business plan going, and I intentionally did that because I find that to be my life's calling. So,
dude, I'm excited for you guys. I'm glad that it's
Are we
working
going to
out,
wrap
though.
this thing up now?
Yeah, we need to wrap this up. So,
well, I thought we could go another 4 hours.
I
You
know,
said
dude.
4 hours of content. What
I'm
the
sorry,
heck?
dude. Sorry. I know you need to get back to RoofCon too, but I'm glad we had this conversation because it's been enlightening to hear from your point of view. And
I don't really need to get back to RoofCon. I'd rather sit in here and talk. The truth is, you want to go interview some other people, and let's do that.
No, we'll hang out later for sure, though.
Okay.
So I appreciate you, Armando. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you. No, I really appreciate you too.
We'll definitely stay in touch, bro.
I found you to be a lifelong friend, man.
Absolutely.
I really do.
Likewise.
So, I appreciate it.
So, absolutely, bro. Thanks, man.
Next time on Art of the Supplement.
How do you separate yourself, right? Because it's all the same. At the end of the day, it's like all the same. So 5,000 other roofing contractors out in Denver, why are they going to pick Northwest Roofing?
Tune in Wednesday, November 27th